Please live for the life that you deserve till you get beyond the hurt. Can't you see how much you have to give for the ones that need you most? Live and don't give up the ghost. Don't die for a lie. No matter what you do, live, yes, live.
I'm KT.
And I'm the Trout, and welcome to KT and the Trout. Yes, we are excited. This is going to be a great episode today.
This
episode
is a
14.
very important episode. I'm excited.
Yes, it is a very important. It is holiday season. If you're watching this 2 years from now, we want to tell you it's December of 2021. It's important you to know that. And we have a very special guest on today. It's got a very special topic to talk about. I'm going to introduce him in just a minute. But first, before I forget, don't forget, push the little thing at the bottom. It's going to say subscribe right now. And tell your friends about it. Ding.
Right.
And join us up. As you all know, if you don't know anything about it, we are KT and the Trout, and you can find us everywhere under KT and the Trout. YouTube, Facebook, everything. Website, KT and the Trout. All right. Our special guest today is a very well-known, I hate to say country western because you do more than just country western, a Nashville elite, I'd like to call him. Michael Anthony Curtis has written and produced songs for a myriad of famous C&W musicians. And we'll talk about that later, but he's really here to talk about something that's really close to his heart. I spoke to him recently about this, and I'm happy he's here. And Michael, let me first thank you and welcome to the KT and the Trout Show. Appreciate you being here.
Good to be here.
Sir.
Thank y'all for
Yes, sir.
And let me just go back to just real quickly, a brief rundown. So you're very successful, been a producer in Nashville. You've written for some great artists. How long, and then this thing came along and touched your heart, and I'll let you elaborate about that. But when did you get involved with what you're going to talk about? When did this come to you and you say, I've got to get involved with it?
Well, actually, I was working with the military and producing and writing some music. And so I knew that suicide was real prevalent in the military. But of course, at the time when I was working with them a few years back, you couldn't talk about recruiting and the suicide problem at the same time. So it was not something they really wanted to talk about. And, but I produced some music for them. And in 2019, I just felt that, man, I needed to write something about it. And I was at church one Sunday and the pastor came in 2 weeks, and then another 2-week period went by. And one time it was a 14-year-old young man. And the next time it was 10-year-old. And I looked over at my wife and I go, wait a minute, our granddaughter just turned 10. I said, what in the world is a 10-year-old even thinking about taking their own life by their own hand? So I did what I do. I prayed about it and I got with a friend of mine, Doug Stokes, and we wrote the song and had it finished in April of 2019. But then COVID hit. I lost my father-in-law and a lot of things happened. But we brought it back up. I think it was July or August of this year. Got with a buddy of mine, Jimmy Thrasher, who owned an independent record label. And, Doug and I both are, I won't go tell our age, but we're just at a place right now where it's not necessarily about being a star or, we want our music to mean something. Honor God means something, help people. And so Jimmy has the same kind of heart. So we went in and recorded the song. And I had really no idea once I got it done. I started sending it around to people and I sent it to a group out in Dallas, Texas, the Life Outreach International Life Today. And my buddy Bruce Jacobson heard it. He just could not get that song out of his head. So, he called me one day and said, I've got an idea for a video. And the guy that he saw starring in it was a guy named Jay Johnson, who was a 20-year Army Ranger veteran. But he also was with the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader Organization for the past 20 years. Prior to COVID, he was their trainer. But anyway, long story short, this all started kind of just snowballing at the end of August. We went and recorded the song. By October 28th, the video was done. We released it on Veterans Day. And we had these coins made up. Now we're partnering with people who are already boots on the ground. We're not trying to reinvent something here. but we're trying to be, because we're a performing arts organization, Silent Witness Inc. And what we do is ministry through performing arts. And, we're not your regular kind of church people, but what we're trying to do is partner with people who are actually doing something about this problem. And we're calling it the Live Initiative because we're wanting to take the spotlight off of suicide and put it on living, because, man, when you think about the second leading cause of death between 10 and 24-year-olds being suicide,
Crazy,
above cancer, above diabetes, it's crazy. So, I just felt like we need to do something about it. God's just been opening these doors. So our plan is to just get out there and go to festivals, country music festivals, rock festivals, gospel festivals, churches, military bases, anybody that will listen to our megaphone and shout it from the rooftops.
Well, I think it's interesting for me because being involved with a nonprofit for, organization for several years. Caleb has two young boys, and I have grandkids that are growing up now. But when you think about that, the number 2 cause of death in children or kids is suicide. And what happened? So when you told me about that, I was just really kind of like pushed back, like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that kids, and like you said, 10 years old. KT, how old are your kids?
10 and 7. Yeah, that's
Crazy.
That's crazy to think of, that I could even imagine having to go through something like that with one of my children.
Rick, when you and I were kids, we never even, that never entered our mind.
No.
We were hide and seek, playing in the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, cowboys and Indians, that stuff was happening all the time. And the big thing was you get a bike for Christmas if you're lucky. I remember those days.
Yes.
Well, and so when you do, let me look a little bit about the logistics here. But when you write a song and you had a partner help you do it, and then do you just go into, enough people, you just call them up and say, hey, let's do a song, and you got enough session musicians or friends that you can just say, I got a song, and put it together and go in the studio?
Yeah, pretty much. Just over the years, I've worked with a lot of, some successful people, but I worked with some great, great studio musicians. And like I said, Jimmy Thrasher, my buddy, he has Thrasher Sound Records. It's a little independent label here in North Alabama. But the thing I love about Jimmy, he just got a great heart. And he happens to also be the president of the Silent Witness Inc. organization, because he has a nonprofit for performing arts people. And but he just had the same heart we did. And Rick, when we went into these musicians and they heard the song and they heard what we were doing, man, you can just tell. You guys have been in the studio enough. You can tell when a musician, okay, let me get through this so I can get to the next song.
Yeah.
But they really poured themselves into this, and everybody that's been involved, just because they like us. We're going to a country radio seminar in February. That's where all the disc jockeys, most of them, and the record companies are promoting their new wares and the new songs on their artists. I think Blake Shelton's doing the Q&A this year, but we're going up there and promoting this because, I just learned a long time ago, I don't care, you can be the richest man on the planet. This was a kind of a little joke, but they said the richest man on the planet had all his wealth melted into the finest gold, and he showed up at heaven and he was going to be real proud. And he popped it open to the angel and says, look at this. And he goes, pavement, what'd you bring that up here for? So when you really kind of just measure all that out, man, and the older we get, Rick, just, man, when you got kids and grandkids and then you hear these stories. I went to a radio station Tuesday, saw an old friend of mine I hadn't seen since my elementary days. And she burst out crying because I gave her one of those live coins. She said, I wish I could have got this to this person a few weeks ago because I just went to a funeral of a 12-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Man.
And
well, I was going to say, let me back up just a little bit, because you got a video out. So you wrote the song with your friend, and then you recorded that. Was there an intention to do a video with it all along, or you decided? And for people that are listening to this on the podcast or watching it, we're going to have links to everything so you can find more about this great organization and what Michael's doing. But did you decide to do the video, and then, or just? I know you told me a little bit about how did that all come about.
Well, I mean, guys, I'm not just saying it. It was definitely divine intervention, because we had just planned on, when Doug and I said, if it helps one, if it saves one, it's worth writing and producing this song. So that was our deal.
Right.
And we were going to put it out to radio, and just, especially during the holidays, if it helped somebody, if it saved one. Then my buddy Bruce Jacobson there at Life Today, I mean, Bruce worked for 2 former presidents, and he's been with Life Outreach International. They've helped so many people over the years. And Bruce is a very matter-of-fact guy. He'll tell you if he likes something or if he don't, but he said, I can't get that song out of my head. And this was I sent it to him September 28th, I think. And anyway, he calls me the following Monday and said, I can't get this out of my head. And so Wednesday, I was actually helping a friend of mine finish up a deck that he built on the back of his house, and to help support my music habit. but the phone rings and Bruce goes, do you trust me? And I said, what do you mean, do I trust you? Of course I trust you. Well, we were here to 7:30 last night, and let me tell you the idea God gave me. And guys, I was weeping when he got finished, because I could not believe it's like he got that downloaded to him. And he hadn't seen Jay Johnson in 15 years. Jay's daughter and Bruce's son were in high school together in Texas. And he said, man, God just brought Jay to my mind. And so that was on a Wednesday. Thursday, I just got back from my granddaughter's school, and my phone rings as Bruce, and he introduced me to Jay. And Jay goes, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea. And we didn't know till the day when we were shooting the video. Jay come to us and said, man, I won't tell his personal story, but he just was basically almost at the end of his rope. And Bruce called him and said, hey, you want to be in this video?
Oh, wow.
And it was life-changing. It was life-changing for him. And it's just give him a whole new perspective on how he can help vets. Because just like if you could have heard the show we were on last night, Jay was saying, hey, when you're in the Army, you're given a mission. You're given a mission. And when you come out, you're still mission driven. For me, it was great. I came out, and my mission was to train the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. So I had a mission. Yeah. But he said, now I want to teach these young men coming out after 4, 8, few years, and they're still young. Hey, you said you'd never leave nobody. So you can't leave your family first and foremost. But we got young men and women dying in our school systems around the country. Let's go save them. And so he's got a great heart. But there's no making up. Even the young kid that was in this video, and the young woman and the guy, how it all came together, how we just, Phil Fulmer, the former coach of Tennessee, got a hold of this video, man, and shares it. And I've got a call Monday with the Jason Foundation. The Jason Foundation is a teen suicide prevention organization. Hopefully we're going to get to do something with those guys, and just like being on the Real America's Voice last night, and then meeting you guys. And, man, like I said, at the end of the day for me and Doug is if we could save one, it was worth it. But how this all came together and how fast it's coming together, I can tell in my opinion, it's something that God just really wants addressed. Because I can't believe it.
I agree.
I think it's interesting from the standpoint that is all of us are performers, how some things work and sometimes they don't. You can force them. But when it's there, and like you said, it just all came together. And I'm sitting there thinking as you're talking, and you and I spoke about it and talking about what you're going to do next year and all that stuff. But I would assume, this is my assumption, that somebody's going to pick this up and put it out to a much broader audience, not just the video, but the song.
That's going to be more than a final list, because that's what it's about for us. It's about getting the message out there. And if your podcast saves one, if the show we did last night, and what I'm saying with these coins, I got the idea on these coins from the military, because the military gives these challenge coins. Right. But growing up, Rick, especially, when we got a $50 or silver dollar, it was something precious. It was
silver
unique.
dollar. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about that, and I thought, wow. And then, the anti-suicide colors are purple and teal. On the purple side, you'll see a teal ring. but the purple is close to the same color as the Purple Heart. We haven't designed that so we can honor the military. But basically, no matter how you flip that coin, no matter how you turn that coin, it says live. And so we want to be able to put that in people's hands, especially children of this nation. Our goal is we can get people to sponsor these coins and put them in their hands and say, hey, God made you a precious soul. Go realize your dreams. Go realize who you are, but you can't do it not living. So no matter how hopeless the moment gets, flip that coin and do whatever it tells you to do. And it's always going to tell them to live.
Well, it's a
That's
great
great.
idea. And I see it not only as bringing awareness. Talk a little bit about the coin. You want to, is that, tell me how people would get that. In other words, what's your kind of goal in that? No, what do you see that you going to groups of people? Let's say you're in front of 1,000 parents and you'd say, well, here's a great thing. There's a coin to kind of help you get past it. So tell me, a little bit, tell us about how that would be distributed.
Well, our goal is, for a $25 donation on the website, they can get the coin and get it mailed to them. But what I'm trying to get to people, if you want to keep it as a memento, if you need it, please keep it. But our goal is that people will donate and get these coins and pass them on. And we hope that even corporations or well-to-do people will step up and sponsor thousands of these so that we can go to schools, because there's kids that can't afford them. But with our organization, you know how it is for non-for-profit. We can't afford to just keep giving them away. They're not, you can't get them for nothing. But I'm hoping people will step up, donate to the cause. And, some people can afford to go, hey, here's $250. Take 10 of those coins and help somebody.
Yeah.
And I would like to have one. Like this morning, I was checking on something at the post office this morning, and I was wanting to know how much it was going to be to ship a few boxes of these things in case we got orders for that many. Mm-hmm. And I showed the young lady at the post office, Rick, and she looked at it, she goes, oh, wow, I need this right now. And I said, then it's yours. And she teared up and she said, wow, are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious. It's yours. Be blessed. And I walked out the door. So you don't ever know. You don't ever know. Going to that radio station Tuesday, finding out about a 12-year-old kid, you just don't ever know. But I guarantee your audience, there's going to be somebody. And if we can save one, it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, I like the grassroots approach because one of the things is being involved in the nonprofit world. It's not easy. People think, I've had people, I'm starting a nonprofit because I get money. People are just going to give you money. It doesn't work that way.
No.
And this is something that's different, and it's something that's needed, and it's something that we don't talk about in America at all. KT, did you ever hear about this before? Before this came up?
No, it's crazy to me. I know that, with all the young ones with the access to the internet now, and, everything you see on TV and stuff is all just overdone. And with the COVID and everyone being home, it's something that's definitely gotten a lot bigger. So I think this is an amazing cause. Definitely.
The FDA released the numbers the other day, guys. I don't know if you saw them. It's the first time in their recorded history there was over 100,000 drug overdoses within 1 year, or over 100,000.
Right.
Some of those had to be suicide. And I don't know this statistic, but I would bet over 50% of them were suicide. But the bottom line, it just needs to stop. And it's like I told the guys last night on the TV show I was on. I said, look, what I'm hoping is I can come back on your show next December, and the rate has dramatically decreased in this country, because since 1999, guys, it's constantly done this.
Yeah,
it's been going up and it's been going up, and I can't imagine with this pandemic. I don't think the CDC's even released the 2021 numbers yet.
No.
So I can't even imagine. But I'm thankful for folks like y'all who are willing to help us get the message out.
Well, it's easy for us. Come on. My mind works on what can I do to even broaden it here in the North Texas area? How do I get more people to be aware of it? Because when we tell people, KT and I, and we start marketing this particular YouTube out or podcast out, we want people to know that's what we're talking about. And I don't never heard about it before. I mean, I had a friend years ago that committed suicide, and it was it's surrealistic, because, you know, one day they're there and the next day they're gone, and you're like, what happened? And people all sit around going, I don't know. I mean, and that's an adult. With a child, they bottle everything up. You know, you all know that.
Yeah,
And
they're not going to call. Unfortunately, they're not going to call. Most children are not going to be calling the suicide hotline. So, Rick, we have to do it on the grassroots level.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to get to these kids and get in these schools. And, you know, I remember when we were in school, there were people come around, they performed and they did things, and, you know, and motivated you and things like that. But I don't know, the culture is just kind of so crazy now, and these young kids are exposed to, I just think their innocence gets robbed so much. But, you know, the one thing I can tell you, and you know from running non-for-profit, if there are any suicide organizations there that really are doing the grassroots work and are got the boots on the ground, you know, we're willing, you know, that's the kind, we want to partner with organizations and come do a concert or come and do whatever we can do and be a megaphone for you. Use our video, you know, bring us into your area. Let us help you bring awareness to it, because not fault, but I would say if the churches, the schools, and the people had done a better job of talking about it, maybe the suicide rate wouldn't be so high. And I know this is on the CDC website, guys. Last year, or 2019, 12 million people thought about it. 3.5 million people planned it. 1.4 million people attempted it. But thank God, only less than 50,000 went through with it. But think about that number, 50,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
You know, that's like 1 every 11 minutes. You know, and to me, I mean, it's one thing, like we were talking about being adults, but kids. But look, I mean, I don't want to focus. I mean, we got to talk about it. But
Right.
I want to let these folks know, live. Come on, man. You God made you special, and you got all these dreams and potential. So go realize them. You know, don't die for a lie. That's our key line in the song, right? Don't die for a lie.
Don't die for a lie. And so the nonprofit is, which one are you involved with?
The non-for-profit is Silent Witness Inc. and silentwitnessinc.org. The full website should be up this weekend, but our landing page right now, you can always, and it'll go right to Silent Witness Inc. even after this weekend, is don'tdieforalie.org.
I'm really moved by what you're doing, Michael. I really am. And
you,
I know you're not doing it for your own, you know, situation. I know that, because when you're helping other people, that makes a big difference. And as successful as you've been, and hopefully, and I'm sure that's what you're thinking too, that some of the people that you've helped and written songs for, they're going to get behind it too. And
I'm going to Nashville tomorrow night to speak to some folks. And like I said, country radio seminar for me, that's that opportunity, not, you know, because a lot of these artists are going to be there. You know, I mean, Blake's gotten real big, but I worked with him years ago when he wasn't as big. But you never know. I mean, it only takes one big artist like that who has a big megaphone, way bigger than my megaphone, to bring awareness to this. But man, you know, the way I see it, Rick, you hit the nail on the head. We got to go to the grassroots levels, because even if you had a Blake Shelton or a Taylor Swift or an Adele that was this megaphone, the work still takes place at home. It
all does. I mean, I think about the logistics, because I used to be president of a company, and then thinking about how much you have to do to get everybody involved. And then you got to train all those people. And then you got to get psychologists in there and all that stuff. That takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money.
Yes.
But if you don't even talk about it, you can't change it. You
can't change it. And like I said, we're not going to try to reinvent the wheel. We're going to find organizations that actually have boots on the ground, and maybe all they're needing is a boost, or maybe they're needing somebody like us to be the performing arts piece or the megaphone to get the gas they need back in the truck to get the work done. So, you know, but it takes a village. You know, nobody can do it on their own. But, you know, to me, God wouldn't have opened these doors that He's opened if He didn't want us walking through them. So until they close, or until I know I've done all I can do, I'm going to keep doing it.
I think you're going to be busy for a while, my friend. You're going to be busy.
That would
And
be just
Well,
fine with me.
to be honest with you, I hope you're not busy that long, because if you're not busy anymore, then the problem has been, the message has been received.
That would be, there is nothing I'd love to be sitting here, like I told you guys last night, I'll tell you guys, I'd love to be sitting here with you next December and say, they hadn't had a suicide in America in 6 months.
Yeah.
How great would that be?
It would be
amazing.
It would be great. So let's go back to the website. Give us the website again that they can.
Don'tDieForALie.org.
Okay. That's everything. And I know I was up there the other day. Not everything's on there, but you said that there was another one coming out too. The other. Yeah,
the full website. If you'll see even on the front page, full website is coming. My partners, Jimmy Thrasher and Melissa, they're just great, wonderful ministers and people. And this is going to be a great organization. I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud of everybody that's done what they've done already. And like I said, we hope to find people with the boots already on the ground that we can help to get it implemented to stop this in its tracks. And, but guys, like I said, we couldn't do it without guys like y'all helping us get the word out, you know, and man, I just appreciate you. Really do.
Well, we don't know what we're going to run across. And our thing about doing this channel is to introduce people to people they wouldn't normally hear about. But when this came out, I said, more people need to know about it. And it's not about us becoming, a lot of people know about us. It's more important about them know about you and what you're doing. So
well, I appreciate it, brother, more than I can say to both of you.
Let's just end it here. Don't Die for a Lie. It's .org, correct? Or is it .com?
Yeah, Don'tDieForALie.org.
Okay.
Yes.
So people jump on and look at that. We appreciate everything you do, Michael. We're going to stand behind you 100%.
Thank you, sir.
We can do
Definitely.
to do what we can do to make this better and grow it. And we'll keep in touch over the time.
Can't imagine what you've been through, and I won't pretend to ever understand how this world pushed you back in a corner, and the only out you see is to see it end. You feel that you have no one, given all that you can give. My friend, I found a secret. The only thing you have to do is live for the life that you deserve, till you get beyond the hurt. Can't you see how much you have to give for the ones that need you most? Live and don't give up the ghost. Don't die for a lie, no matter what you do. Yes, live. I can see how hard you're fighting, but the battle's over. Go lay down your gun. Look up, though you feel no one can love you. There's forgiveness no matter what's been done. At the point of no returning, you don't know what to do. You're blinded by the darkness. If you want to see the truth, you've got to live for the life that you deserve, till you get beyond this hurt. And can't you see how much that you have to give to the ones that need you most? Live and don't give up the ghost. Don't die for a lie, no matter what you do. If you wanna see the truth, you gotta live, 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 live. Yes, live. Please choose to live. Yeah, live.
KT and the Trout